The Avengers Doomsday fourth trailer has leaked online, just like all of the other trailers that have leaked online before going to the theaters to play in front of Avatar Fire and Ash. This one is really interesting as it shows two worlds coming together. And obviously, if you don't want any spoilers, this video is not for you. You should click away. And also, the official X-Men trailer did release online today. We'll be breaking that down later. But this one is a very interesting trailer. It shows the Wakandans, the Talokans, and yes, the Fantastic Four. The leaks about what it was about are true in a desert in a very, I would say, intense scene, but also some comedic relief as well, because of course it's an Avengers film, it's Marvel, there's some comedic relief in there as well. So let's go over what exactly was shown, what exactly we're going to see with the official trailer, that is trailer number 4 for Avengers Doomsday. It starts off in a desert, and we see Shuri in a new Black Panther suit that is gold and blue. And honestly, it looks pretty dope. It looks really good. This is a really great look for the Black Panther suit. She's walking alone in the desert, which is pretty interesting. But she says, "I've lost everyone that matters to me." And I think that's kind of funny because as we'll go on in this trailer, she eventually is with M'Baku. And so she's pretty much like, "I don't care about you, M'Baku." But she says, "I've lost everyone that matters to me." And of course, she's talking about the loss of her brother, T'Challa, and of course, her mother, who was lost in Wakanda forever, and a lot of other people lost in that as well from the attack of Talokan. But what's interesting here is after she says, "I've lost everyone that matters to me," the next shot that we see is Namora and the people of Talokan on the surface. Like, their whole army is there, and we see a big temple off in the background. And it's really interesting because it kind of almost looks like it was underwater and then wasn't, like the water is gone and now their city is on land, or it could just be a temple on the surface in the desert as well. But it kind of does look like the people of Talokan are a little misplaced here, but I think that's because they're getting ready for war. And we'll get more into that as we get more into the trailer breakdown. They see a really big temple in the background, and as they kind of pan, showing the people of Talokan, we see Namor. Namor sitting on a throne. He looks very concerned. That's one thing that I did notice about a few of these scenes. We see Shuri, we see Namor. They look very concerned, and obviously this is going to be related to Doom. We'll get to that, but he looks incredibly concerned, and he looks up. And it looks like both armies are essentially preparing for a war that is coming. Now, him looking up kind of makes me think, since we know that Shuri is going to be one of the people who, or if not the main person who discovers an incursion is coming to their Earth, he's looking up kind of like, is another Earth really about to come and collapse into our Earth? Is another universe really about to collide with ours? Because clearly Shuri goes to Talokan along with other people, I assume, the Thunderbolts, the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and she tells them, "We need your help because our entire universe, not just our world, but our entire universe is about to get destroyed." That's one of the biggest things about Avengers Doomsday, something they have been setting up with Multiverse of Madness and other projects as well, Loki and everything like that. The incursions are real, and it's a huge part of the comics as well. Time runs out leading up to Avengers Secret Wars. The incursions happen. The entire multiverse gets destroyed. Doctor Doom is actually the one who saves something and creates Battleworld. We'll get to that. So he looks up very concerned. And as he looks up, we actually hear Shuri say, right when we see Namor, right when he comes on screen, Shuri says, "A king has his duties to prepare our people for the afterlife. I have mine." Then we see Shuri walking with M'Baku. M'Baku also has a new suit. And these new suits, all like lined with this blue, looks really cool. And I actually think that might be something given to them or taken from Talokan, the people of Talokan. Maybe Namor gave them something, and it's some type of element. Maybe it's a special type of vibranium that goes into their suit, and it looks really cool. I'm sure it does something, but it looks really cool. We don't know exactly what it does. But that given to them from Talokan makes sense because they are working together in the scenario. And again, I think it's because they went to the people of Talokan and said, "Hey, we're going to need your help." So right here, we actually see M'Baku This scene is, I actually find this scene pretty cool. When I heard about this trailer, I didn't think it would be that cool. I thought it might be a little underwhelming, but it's actually not. It's actually pretty cool. We see a crazy cool scene where M'Baku walks up and he says, M'Baku of Wakanda, extends his hand, and then we see Ben Grimm in his Fantastic Four outfit saying, Ben, Fancy Street, between Broom and Grand. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. And then the last shot is of Shuri, and she looks very intense, very intense. She nods her head yes and does the Wakanda forever. And that's the trailer. She gets into a ship. Now, what's interesting is this ship, I actually think we've seen a leaked photo of this, because we've seen a leaked photo that has John Walker in it, U.S. agent, and it's believed to have another member of the Fantastic Four in it as well, and the Wakandans as well. I remember when this photo first leaked, people were like, oh, that looks like Shuri's foot. So it looks like, you know, new Avengers, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, the Wakandans are going to get together. Yes, we've seen it now in this trailer. And aesthetically, everything looks really cool. But let's talk about the reason all of this is actually really happening. The reason all of this is happening, of course, is because of Doctor Doom. We know the Fantastic Four come to our universe, and whether or not Doctor Doom portrays himself as a hero at first or just goes straight into being a villain, that's unknown at this point in time. But one thing that we do know is ultimately everybody is going to know that Doom is a villain, and we are going to learn that incursions are going to happen. So from what we've heard, Shuri, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and Beast from the X-Men universe, those three are going to, because they are the brightest minds, right? Reed Richards, the smartest man alive from his universe. Beast is probably the smartest man alive from his universe. And Shuri in our universe right now. The smartest people get together and they figure out a way to create a device that is basically a countdown clock to when the incursion is going to happen for our universe, and probably their universes as well. All of them are going to collide into each other. So Shuri is reportedly, based on reports we've heard in the past, the one who figures out that the incursion is happening for Earth 616. So then she clearly works with the Fantastic Four, with some of the X-Men, and they figure some stuff out. But we've also heard, and this is the big part I think of this trailer, we've also heard that a really big attack happens at Wakanda. So Doom is essentially going to invade Earth, and there's going to be a big battle. At least that's what we think. I think, actually, it might be that when the other Earth, because when incursions happen, the comics explain, at least, we don't know in the MCU, but the comics explain that the center of each universe is Earth. So when the universes collide, it's actually the two different Earths from each universe that collide with each other. In the comics, the only way to survive an incursion is to destroy the other Earth. That might be what we're in for. They might be preparing for the people of that other Earth to actually attack them. And that could be why Namor is looking up into the sky, because he might be expecting an attack from the sky from a different Earth when it comes into play. This is actually a really cool premise, and I really hope they include this in Avengers Doomsday. It looks like that is what is happening. We have the Talokans working with the Wakandans, which is not where we left off in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Well, depending on how you view it, but still, it's a pretty big thing happening right here, and the Fantastic Four are with them, and we assume that the X-Men are there as well, since we've heard those reports about Beast and Shuri working together. So the Thunderbolts, Avengers, everyone is really coming together here and preparing for something big, because we see both armies there. Like, they are ready for an attack. So I'm sure we're going to have some of our heroes going off and trying to go to the TVA, and some trying to fight Doom. But then there is some type of invasion here on Earth at Wakanda that these armies, these people are getting ready to fight. And whether that's Doom's armies or whether that's literally other heroes or possibly villains from another Earth that are about to show up, it all does feel really big. And again, like I said, I thought I was going to be underwhelmed with this next trailer, and I thought, wow, coming off the X-Men trailer, this doesn't seem like much. No, it actually feels really big. It feels really good. That X-Men trailer was pretty dang good, but this actually feels really cool as well. But that's what we have. That's the fourth trailer. And keep in mind, there's been a fifth, sixth, and seventh trailer actually registered that have been rated already as well. So more are coming. And I do believe that we're not going to get that first official teaser trailer, our first official look at Doom until the Super Bowl, but we'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, let me know what you think about this trailer in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU and Avengers Doomsday news. You can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.